Hierarchy. Hierarchy is one of the key tools that the state and capitalism use to control people. It is implicated in both the repressive and the manipulative arms of the state, but it is most destructive when it is used to manipulate people. A hierarchy is any system where power over others is concentrated in the hands of the minority. All capitalist workplaces, for example, are hierarchies, and the boss is at the top and everyone else below. Often there are tiny differences in responsibility that gives some people just a tiny bit of power over others. Board members control managers and control more managers and control supervisors and control more supervisors, who eventually end up managing 6 people for an extra 10 an hour. This is an important way that capitalism creates and uses hierarchy to divide working class people. We are given a small amount of power over each other so that we can end up fighting each other rather than fighting the bosses. I'm going to stop right there because there's an analogy that I like to say. It's like society seems like we're salmon, we're fish swimming upstream just to beat the next fish, just to only get picked off at the top by the bear. Like that's just how society seems to me. It's like we're all struggling and fighting each other elbow to elbow to get to the top, you know. But it's like, why? When we can help each other, share what we have. We have a means of a better society right here before us, but we decide to still go up that stream like a fish and be stupid and just live your life for that bear that's going to pick you off in the end anyway. It's all for nothing. All your work so you can be old and go see the Grand Canyon. Is that what you're working for? That's great. That's wonderful. Okay, well, back to the reading. This is one important way that capitalism creates and uses hierarchy to divide working class people. We are given a small amount of power over each other so that we end up fighting each other rather than fighting the bosses. However, there are hierarchies in the society that were not created by capitalism, and which have their own separate existence in history. The oppression of women is thousands of years old and has shown up in different ways in hundreds of different societies. And women still don't get paid the same, which should be changed. That should be fucking changed, like as soon as possible. This is known as a patriarchy, a system of oppression, of exploitation that sees women placed under the control of men in a variety of different ways. The oppression of gay, lesbian, and transgender people, indeed of anyone who does not fit the straight, monogamous, gendered norm, is age-old. It's often even more brutal than patriarchy, seeking not just to control but to exterminate people who don't fit. Racism and ideas of white supremacy are younger but no less vicious, while with a legacy of slavery and exploitation that has destroyed the lives of millions. All of these systems of oppression and exploitation, and the many others that hang off them, must be fought on their own terms by the people that suffer them. Just as only the working class can fight for capitalism because we are the ones being directly exploited. So only women, gay people, and those attacked by racism, which can change from place to place and period to period, can destroy patriarchy. Heterosexism and white supremacy, we can all support each other in this different fights, but it is vital that there is directly attacking those, the form of structure of their own response. Organizations of women, gay people, and black and ethnic minority people, who are often in reality majorities, are absolutely vital in resisting and destroying various systems of hierarchy. However, we would also remember that all of these systems of oppression work together to create the world as we know it, capitalism. It propped up by patriarchy, which divides the working class, men against women, gives some workers power over others. over others. Men are more likely to get higher paid in supervisory jobs. The forces people do untold hours of unpaid but essential work. Housework and raising of children are essentially to the economy, but mostly done for free by women. Patriarchy is propped up by capitalism, as the media pumped out the stereotypes of women to sell cosmetics and perfumes, and businesses creates the role of a housewife to force unwanted women out of the workplace and to create a new market for consumer goods. Racism allows capital states to justify invading, pillaging different countries for raw material and new markets, and divides the working class at home between black and white, immigrant and native, Christian, Muslim, gay, straight, all the divisions that goes on and on. All these forms of exploitation and oppression, all these hierarchies reinforce and amplify each other until they are impossible to untangle from each other. For this reason, it is impossible to just fight capitalism or racism or sexism, and so on, and so on. Gains made against one system will be eaten up by another. For example, women fight for equal rights at work, and at work has often ended up with women working a double day, the housework at the home and long hours at the work. The rebellion of black people in the 1960s won political equality, but also created a new black leadership who became part of the ruling class while everyone else was left to rot. Capitalism is one more than just a class system. The power of the ruling class comes from their controls of the means of production, but they keep that control by manipulating the whole series of different systems of oppression and exploitation. Different hierarchies, these systems give some of the working class more power than others. This makes them complicit in our own exploitation. Back in the 19th century, there was a slogan, "Workers of the world unite and have nothing to lose but your chains." The way hierarchy works together means that this is not true. These systems give large sections of work to the class, just as long as a bit of privilege, just a little bit of privilege. This is enough to turn them against the people they should be uniting with, enough to make them defend the ruling class against the claims of women, LGBT people, black and ethnic minorities, and people on and on and on. To target past, we need the revolutionary movement made up of many different organizations. We need many different ways in which people can take control of their own lives and fight different oppression that push them down. We need to completely transform society and ourselves. In the Anarchist Federation, we believe that the ideas of the anarchist communism offer the best chance of doing this. The next section lays out what these ideas are. Thank you for your time.